you're obviously Jewish because what, you have like a larger nose, because that's the stereotype, right?
Based.
Whatever. Anyways, so like someone looks at me, I'm white.
Mm-hmm.
But you could see someone who is like black,
Mm-hmm.
but they appear white. They're white presenting, and you see them as white. So if you're walking down the street, but whatever, I'm going to say that you're white, and then someone else, I could say, oh, well, she's actually Jewish, but maybe I think she's Mexican, so I'm going to say that she's Hispanic, you know? So
what do you think about her saying that so let's just say she includes Jewish people in with white men.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think about her saying that rich white men control society and it's because of racial inequality?
It's about IQ is what it comes down to. When you look at the distribution of wealth in the world, it all comes down to, if the number one predictor of success for an individual is IQ, that's also true with the success of nations. And so look at the two dominant civilizations in the world today. It's Western white Christian civilization, and increasingly it's specifically Chinese East Asian civilization. Average IQ of China, Japan, South Korea is comparable to the average IQ of Western Europe, white Americans, white Canadians, and Australians. If you look at sub-Saharan Africa, average IQ is a standard deviation lower. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't have high IQ Africans. You actually have quite a bit of them. And by 2100, there's going to be 4 billion Africans. A lot of them are going to be high IQ. But the average is going to be lower. So there's going to be more lower IQ proportionally than there are white people. And so in terms of, why do you have more white people? If you call it the top 1%, I mean, that's really...
What about them hoarding the wealth? What do you think
Oh,
of that?
I don't think that's true. Because, where do they hoard the wealth? When people say they hoard the wealth, where? Do they have cash? Do they have, when Elon Musk has $250 billion net worth, what does that mean? Does he have $250 billion in cash in a mattress? Mm-hmm. He has stock in very valuable companies like Tesla. So the money's not even liquid. It's in the company. The value is the company. Are we going to say that Tesla, being a company that's worth as much as it is?
It's kind of like how they'll say, I'm a millionaire because of my YouTube channel, but I don't have $1 million in my bank account. Mm-hmm. But if someone was to value the YouTube channel, arguably it's worth more than $1 million.
Right.
But
I
think that's what he's saying with the billionaires. A lot of times the money is in the company. It's not necessarily in the bank account.
Understood.
Mm-hmm.
Which creates jobs. Mm-hmm. When you invest in real estate or you invest in business, because that's where where the wealth is. It creates jobs, it creates value. And, what would people be doing if they had wealth anyway? I mean, the thing is, poor is a mindset. Poor is not how much money you have. Poor is, if we were to give poor people $10,000, you know what they would do? They would spend all of it immediately on alcohol, cigarettes, lottery tickets. Now, some of them, you could say, well, they would be like the Pursuit of Happiness of Will Smith, and they go and buy a degree or something. But the vast majority, it's like drug dealers, or not drug dealers, homeless people. If you gave homeless people $10,000, do you think that would solve their problems? Mm-hmm. No, they would blow it immediately on crack, or cocaine. And so, that's why, wealth is something. Ayn Rand said this. I don't like Ayn Rand, but it's true. You don't hold wealth. You sort of, I don't know, this isn't the exact quote, but you sort of like command wealth. If you're not somebody who has like a rich mindset, you will lose all your money. It's why people win the lottery will wind up poorer than they were before they won, because they go and they blow it all. They spend more than they have. So really people's wealth is kind of like connected to their like cognitive class,
What do you think? Do you think he's right or wrong?
I think that there's truth in things he's saying, yes.
Oh.
Let's go.
I asked on Twitter if I would get banned off YouTube for having you on.
Yeah.
I got some mixed responses. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
There was a need for feminism, first wave feminism, right?
Oh, do you think there's more than one wave of feminism?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Really?
It's all feminism, though.
I feel like it was all the same. Like, it was always freedom without responsibility. I think it was always the same. They planned assassinations in the late 1800s. Feminists.
Yeah, there was a lot of that going on. Anarchists, feminists, The germ of the idea is fundamentally true, though, and that is the radical notion that women and men are equal. Mm-hmm. And I've always said this, you either believe that premise or you don't. And if you do, then everything just has to unfold. All the things that seem crazy, like lady cops and everything, like if you believe that women and men are equal, it's an imperative that you would have female cops and female soldiers because women and men are equal. But people go, well, no, that's too far. It's like, it's not a matter of degree. Like, oh, it's too far from some arbitrary point. If you agree women and men are equal, then it must be so. It's just a matter of sorting it out. If you think they're not equal, well, then it's a different premise.
I feel like I could see women cops being useful when it comes to de-escalating certain situations, but that's really it.
Right. But they're not going to charge in to an active shooter.
I've just heard there's, I met with someone that was talking about like personal security, just because we've had some. I'm not going to name names. There was a crazy woman that showed up in my apartment at a certain hour, and my front security did nothing about it. I'm not going to name names, but if I had to, Victor, Esther, anyways. Now, so I was looking into like more personal security, and he was saying how it's good to have women security guards, not necessarily because they can do like with a guy, just because sometimes they can better like, if at a bar or like someone's drunk or something, they can get the guy to calm down better than like a man can because he'll perceive the man as like a threat. And I was like, I could see that being helpful.
I'd want a big guy instead.
No, but it's not the woman alone. It's like with the guy.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, so it's like, because at the end of the day, she can't throw the guy out.
Right,
you know?
yeah.
But I'm saying the only way I could see police officer women being like, really useful is with like,
or because they're hot. Like, to me, the idea of women cops is funny. It's ineffective because one, it's hilarious, and like it's hilarious just to witness, but also it's like totally a turn on. You know, like if you get pulled over by a lady cop, it's like impossible for me not to be totally patronizing and be like, hey, what's the problem, officer? You know? So, okay, she doesn't like that. You know, come on. You disagree?
I didn't say anything, Nick.
Okay.
Your face says it all.
Come on.
Speak for me then.
First wave feminists would want nothing to do with third wave feminists, which is where we're at today, right? Women that think that actually first wave feminists, you could argue, envied men. Right? They wanted to be able to go to work. They wanted to have that option to be something outside of the home. Right? Now we have that option, and we're being told the exact opposite, which is that if everything in the home is bad, and that's what you call throwing out the baby with the bathwater. There are some really amazing things. I think the best things that come from being at home. Sometimes I think we got the bad end of the deal. Right? I'm like, wait, we got to stay at home and do nothing and spend our husband's money, and somebody complained?
Yeah.
That's a joke, guys.
That's a joke. But no, and to me, I think that's the part where, you know, I've unfortunately seen that happen so much in society, that there's such a mischaracterization to me of what people think as stay-at-home mothers and traditional women. There's such a mischaracterization, like these women were prisoners,
right?
You know, and so whereas, like you said, I think first wave feminism wanted women to have a choice, but then third wave, the choice is gone. You must choose what we want for
exactly
you, right?
What we want is you need to be top 40 Forbes company, a corporation. If you don't have that, then you somehow failed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is so backwards and so wrong. And it also goes against biology.
Yeah.
You know, it goes against biology. There's a reason, biological underpinning to everything that we have in the society. People keep trying to outthink biology. It doesn't work that way, right? There's a reason, you know, women can carry children and men can't. So that instantly allows man to have different goals in terms of the workforce than women, because that means we have to make a decision. Do we have children? Or continue working in our career, or try to juggle both. Men don't have that same pressure, and it's not their fault. They didn't design this. You know, men weren't like, well, I have an idea, let's not be able to carry children, only let women be able to do that. And so there's the biological reality of that, and increasingly you see women that go for it in terms of their career because they have the societal pressure, and then it's too late. And then they realize, wow, this job is not making me happy, but my gosh, can I just tell you as a new mom what you feel like when your son smiles at you? Like, you know, when your baby looks up at you, there's no greater feeling of accomplishment. Like there is not. I have accomplished a lot in my life. And
do you think Oprah would give up all her money for children?
I don't know. Oprah got a lot of money. That's a lot of money to give up. Fuck them kids. Sorry. Give me the cash.
I don't know. She doesn't have kids? I don't know anything about Oprah. Yeah.
She's a billionaire.
Is it because she's black?
What's that?
Is it because she's black?
No, because I don't watch Oprah. I'm a guy. Why would I know anything about Oprah?
I don't know. Oprah's very well known.
Not by me. I don't. It's a white woman thing. But I don't know. Well, she's a certain kind of person. Clearly she chose her career, her show, all that. I don't think she'd give it up for kids. But then again, I don't know. I don't know anything about Oprah, so maybe. But there is something about what she's saying, which is like, your child. That's just what I think. Even as a guy, like, I obviously don't want to be doing, like, I'm not a mother, so I don't see myself pushing the stroller.
You're not a
and
mother?
all that.
Question mark?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not really motherly. But when I think about having kids, that to me seems like the most fulfilling thing, and I imagine more so for a woman. And when I think about like the prospect of your even an above average woman in the workforce, what does that look like? I mean, what is like if you have like a high level job in society, what does that mean? You're like a really good salesperson. You're like a really elite salesperson at a big firm. It's like you sell insurance. It's like, does a woman or anybody for that matter think selling insurance and going to some like stupid Christmas party is more fulfilling than like a child looking at you when you come home and saying, mommy's home or something like that? It's got to be the kids. That's what it's all about. If there's any...
What up, guys? Welcome to the Just PearlyThingz YouTube channel.
Person at a big firm. It's like you sell insurance.